Hi everyone, welcome to the Clean Out Your Supplement Drawer live webinar. I'm your host, Bridget Danner. If you don't mind to just say in the chat if you can hear me and see me, that would be great. I did test it, but I never know if I'm talking to myself till someone says something. So mostly this is going to be just like a very interactive, who knows what's going to happen type of call, or take some examples. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you. Awesome. Thanks, ladies. Thanks so much. Yeah, I'm so excited to have you here. I've been studying supplements forever. When I was in Chinese medicine school, I also worked at a supplement shop, and I was like, always had my nose in a book learning about supplements. So I'm so happy I've found an avenue where I can sell them online and advise about them online. And we're still working out the international aspect, but so for now we're mostly just shipping in the US. However, if you're outside the US, if you're seeing products that interest you, just look for similar things. Like there's the company iHerb will ship all over the place. There's a company called Optimizing Wellness, I think, that'll ship all over. So someday, hopefully, we can ship all over. But for now, if you're international, just follow along. And even I'm going to mention later, I do some supplement, like private reviews. Even if you're international and we can't ship you anything, I can still advise you on the best kind of supplements I think would be good for your case. Hi, ladies. Thanks for everyone for saying hi. So actually, just before I got on, I was trying to add on one more kind of free resource for you. So let me do that real quick. And if you want to write in the chat what you're here for, so to speak, if it's literally to clean out your supplement drawer because you don't know what you're taking, or if it's, just to learn and listen, or if you're working on a specific problem. If you're a practitioner, I'd be interested to know that too. Yeah, I'd love to hear from you while I do this last little errand. And there's always like a 45-second delay, just so you know, between us. So if I don't answer you right away, there's probably just a bit of a delay. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to find my supplement shop so I can put on this gift for you guys. Oh, here we go. Here we go. And once I add this, I'll show you the page. I can do a screen share and show you the page. Okay. Practitioner, learning about brands, great. What are good quality and also effective? And trying not to buy blindly. I love it. Do I really need supplements? That's a great question, Tracy. We should definitely cover that. Health coach and FDN. Yeah, a lot of FDNs. We did a webinar yesterday, and a bunch of FDNs were on too. That's a program, a functional diagnostic nutrition program that I was trained in. And yeah, it seems like a lot of people I'm connecting with are the same. Someone looking to get on supplements instead of hormone replacement therapy. Candida and histamine intolerance. Okay. Lois is wondering what she could cut out. That's a great question. Awesome. Tony St. Clair is on here. Hi, Tony. Yeah, let's learn together. Okay, so I want to take some volunteers, but before I do that, let me share my screen. I just want to show you some resources before we start. So hopefully you can see my screen. Let me see. Yeah. I kind of can't see you when I'm sharing my screen, but hopefully you can see my screen. So this is the supplement store page, and I'll share the link. But here is the guide that I gave out during the summit. It's like a 12-page guide to supplements that I wrote. I'll have to be honest, I was really running out of time with that. So I didn't quite get into like quality as much as I wanted to on the guide. I just was like, I'm out of time. It's due tomorrow. But we'll talk about it here on the show. And I gave some recommendations in the guide. And this is a new thing I just added. So just below it, you'll see this fillable supplement day planner, I called it. And then you can click on it. It's a fillable PDF, so you can download it and actually type it up on your computer with like, what supplements am I taking when I wake up versus at breakfast versus at lunch. And you can also put in your habits that you're wanting to do. So if you want to start drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning and do dry brush your skin, then put that down as first thing in the morning. A lot of times with supplements, especially if you're taking a few things, it can just be hard to keep up with it all. So if you can write it down and plan it, that's great. So I just developed this PDF for our clients, but I thought, well, I might as well give it to everybody. Everybody can utilize it. And then here on the, I don't know if it looks on my right, it's my interview from the summit about diet and supplements for midlife. So if you didn't see that, if you missed it, you can catch it here. And then I'll just show you briefly. We have two shopping stores. One, this number one here, you can get a discount on your first order, and you can also go on Amazon. So I really love the Amazon option because if you have Amazon Prime, your shipping is free. And I don't know why the discount is different. I didn't set it up, but you actually get 25% off your first order on Amazon. And let's see, then the rest is just a little information. And then one last thing, let me share this link in the chat. So that's the link to that page I just showed you. And I'll also put it like on the replay, and you'll get it a few times. But there's that link. It's kind of put all the resources together in one place. And I wanted to say that because we're doing this like special webinar, if you didn't buy the summit, but you just kind of wanted to, and you just never got around to it, it's at the same price as during the summit. And that's at this link here. Hard to see on the screen. Yeah, you'll get a PDF. Yeah, I just was showing you the shop, Dana. So yeah, you'll get, if you can download the PDF. Just click on those links. Okay, so let's get into it. There's a lot of little questions, and we're going to take little questions too, but I thought it would be fun to take a few volunteers and have you like literally show your supplements and talk about them and let you be an example. So if you are game for that, you need a webcam and you need headphones, or we're going to hear some feedback. And I thought you needed a Gmail address, but you might not. You might just be able to, whoops, sorry, I didn't know my camera was off. You might just be able to not have a Gmail address also. So basically what happens, we just put it right. I didn't put it on that page. I put it in the chat, Margo. I will add it to the other page. Yeah, lots of questions. I love it. Volunteer. If you go in the chat, there's a little button to like raise your hand. So if you want to raise your hand, look for that button and I'll see it. And then I click a button and it will send a link to your email inviting you to come on. And there'll be like a little second video screen with you and me, and we'll talk. I know it's like a little bit brave, but you know, you'll get your own personal review and It's just within our own community who's going to be watching it. Let's see. So until I see some hands raised, maybe we'll answer some. Oh yeah, the button says request to speak. Yes, you can do that button. I don't think there's a request to be on the video button. So yeah, do the request to speak button. Thank you. And then I can send you an email. So Linda's asking, let me hit some of these small questions. Is it bad to use expired supplements? Not that bad. So what's mostly happening as they expire is they're getting older and the quality is going down, much like our hormone quality or our egg quality. So they're going to be less effective. And, you know, there is something to be said for something that's been hanging around for a long time in your cupboard that you haven't used. You could use it, but there's probably a reason you didn't use it. But if you're like, oh, I really need like antiviral herb because I'm sick and it's, you know, expired 3 months ago, I would probably still use it if it were me. I can't sell it to you when it's expired, and so it's up to you. But and some things like a tincture, they don't really expire. I don't even know if they have an expiry date on them. But, you know, a capsule, it'll get worse. If you see any decay in there, like there's been moisture in the bottle, let it go. How much is too much? Satvia asked. You know, it's hard to say. I would say if it's expired within the year, I don't think that's that old. But if it expired like 5 years ago, again, it's kind of just the idea is like, why didn't you use it for so long? Like, what's going on there? But I think a tincture will last, you know, a really, really long time. And it's a little bit discretion. But, you know, again, I can't sell it to you. I can't officially endorse it. But mostly it's just the quality is starting to go down with just exposure to like oxygen and heat and that kind of a thing. Okay. God, it's so many good questions. I still don't see anyone with their hand up unless I can't see it. So if you want to volunteer, raise your hand. Otherwise, I'll just take some more questions from the chat. I don't know how to pronounce this. Vincine is wondering about next steps for her protocol. So that would be like a great example. Okay. Delinda was saying she didn't hear anything, but Delinda, it seems like other people are hearing, so I would check your own volume settings and make sure like the right speakers are connected or whatever. Sometimes you need to restart your computer if you really can't find it. Holly's wondering about an overlap of candida and parasites. Yeah, candida we call a secondary infection. There's usually always some other kind of infection. Parasites, sometimes they're with heavy metals, they're going together. Mold, if you have mold in your body. Yeah, so Holly, that's a common one. Treating parasites and candida is definitely getting advanced. It's probably getting to the area where I don't really recommend people do it on their own. I would recommend getting stool testing and really targeting your protocol. And usually we do a parasite protocol first, and then we add the candida layer for a while. But once candida is so opportunistic, it loves to grow, and so it often has to be treated. Now, I've seen some practitioners treat it first, but the way I've learned it is to treat it last, because it will always take advantage of the situation. So you really have to clear the situations before you can do the candida. It's kind of like a last step. All right, we got one volunteer. Awesome. Where did I lose you? Vicine. I'm going to send you an email, Vicine. I hope I'm getting your name right. You can correct me. So go to your inbox and follow the instructions, and you'll come live on the thing. Awesome, cool. Until she comes on, we'll take a couple more little questions. Lois, you would be the example. If you're taking too many things and you're wondering to cut out, that's great. So maybe you can come on next. Just raise your hand if you're willing. And Ange was wondering about candida and histamine intolerance. Okay. And a few people asked about ingredients to avoid. You know what? I should probably send you or think about some more notes on this, because
You should see, you should hear. Thank you so much. I'm, I know them. I can tell you them off the top of my head. I have a lot of them. Well, I'm actually on the. You're an FDN, right? Right, and I'm Bridget, right? You're okay. Thank you, Bridget. I am finishing the pathogen eradication part of the protocol. We found H. pylori, which was kind of surprising to me because I didn't. I don't have any GI symptoms, and I really never have. So that one surprised me a little. But we found Cryptosporidium parvum. Of course, the yeast was not cultured, but with my history, it's there. So yes, and that's going to be the last thing we work on. So I'm going to be retesting very shortly, but I'm winding down these supplements, and I have to tell you, I know I have a way to go. Even if the H. pylori and the parasites are eradicated, clearly the autoimmune and I'm not where I need to be. I know I have a way, but I feel like it's too many supplements, Bridget. No, I'm actually a practitioner. I'm new to this, so I'm just going to start seeing clients. But it's that old thing, is like you feel like I can't fix myself. It's like you kind of lose confidence a little because you want to fix yourself, right? And I'm a tough case. Yeah. Yes, yes, I hear. Yeah, I well, again, and I wish I had the retest results. I mean, I don't, because another couple of weeks. I'm gonna take the test, but I just, there's a lot of confusion about what I need to do because everything is so intertwined. I mean, obviously the cortisol, the gut is extremely affecting the cortisol levels. They're low, and the autoimmune component. Now, I do know that the thyroid gland itself has not been. There's no damage to it because I just recently had a second ultrasound. But I do take, and the reason for that, I truly believe, is that I take the protomorphogen supplement from Douglas Labs. I take ditrophin, which sort of acts like a decoy, and I think that's what's helping keep my thyroid intact because I don't take any drugs. I do not take anything at all for the thyroid. Vincine, yes, thank you. my main complaints. Sinuses. I mean, my sinuses, and then when they get really clogged, my ears. And it was up until probably 6 months ago. Like I had like 10 extra pounds on me, and I'm not really overweight. Now I took most of it off, but I know I'm reluctant to go back to lifting weights. I still run, but I don't run long distance anymore. I've stopped that. But I'm reluctant to do the resistance training because I know my body's still in a catabolic state, and I don't. It's breaking down, so I don't want to add to that. So yeah, and I recently caught a cold. We got some wacky weather up here. I live in New York, and it's been a really wacky spring. So I think the weather, and a lot of people got like colds, and I've been doing really well though. I mean, my immune system was always very weak. Like I would always get respiratory infections. But I've really, to be honest, Bridget, I've come a very long way from that, much less frequent and much less severe. Um, I'm making progress, but you know, honestly, as of late, it's the last few weeks I've been struggling, but I think part of that was due to catching a little bug. I think part of it is detox, and I think the third part of that is weather related because it's been very, very damp, a lot of rain. We've had then the heat came in, and then it's been just like a toxic mix weather-wise. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think that's what happened. But honestly, I used to suffer. It was chronic. I mean, all the time. But since I've changed my diet about 2.5 years ago, I cut out all the gluten. But I got really good since January. I ran the MRT test, and I saw what I was, reacting to. And I've pretty much stayed away from. I honestly, I think I could say I've been about between 90 and 95% with that diet. I've been very good. Um, yes, yes. Uh, I'll tell you the ones that I did stop taking as of a few weeks ago as I ran out. I was taking the Biomatrix pregnenolone drops and the DHEA drops. When I started the pathogen eradication, I did start treating the parasites. So I was on Parasite X and Parasite Forte. I was on two of them. I did the 60-day. I did a complete cycle with those. And then I went on to, I added I, I was doing the biofilm disruptor. I was doing the Claire Labs, the Interface Plus, and I still am on that. I added Biocidin liquid, and I'm probably just about to finish that probably later this week. I added Oliverex from Biobotanicals. I also am taking Mucosa Max to help. I ran the Genova IP, and I have extremely leaky gut. I was off the chart, basically, both to the lactulose and the mannitol. So it's everything. It's crypt hyperplasia. It's villi atrophy. Everything. It's a mess. It's very leaky. So there's no surprise then that there's autoimmune component. That Hashimoto's. Both of my thyroid antibodies are elevated. They're not super duper high, but they fluctuate. But they are high. They're not. They're not where they should be. And what else was I taking? I am taking. I added in the Lauricidin. I was taking DGL supplement from Biomatrix. I'm now taking a probiotic. I was, before all this started in January, I was doing Megaspore, but now I'm doing Orthobiotic by Orthomolecular. I am taking digestive enzyme. I'm taking the Transformation Digeszyme. I'm taking vitamin C and vitamin B, just a comprehensive, it's allergy research, and I think it's orthomolecular vitamin B, B methyl B. It is. I also added the bitters in, the digestive bitters. I'm taking a brand called Uriel. It's a homeopath. No, it's an herbal. Excuse me. And then I just recently started, after I finished the pregnenolone DHEA drops, I took a homeopathic uh, adrenal mix. It's called bio nutrition. It's by Bio Nutrition Supplements. So it's oh, and I also take my omega-3 is Omax 3. It's like a professional grade. So I feel like I'm just taking all this stuff, and I it's a lot, and I financially I need to slow down a little also, Bridget. Yes. Yes. Correct. Oh, did I lose you? Oh, I think I hello? I think I lost you, Bridget.
Okay, I came back on. If you can see me and hear me, let me know. I did a webinar yesterday, no problem, so I'm not sure what happened. Okay. I'm getting some mixed things. Some people said they couldn't see me or couldn't hear me, and then some people can. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I know what happened. Some people said they had to reconnect. I think the connection just went bad, and so my internet went bad for a second, and then it maybe cut people out because it seemed to me that that it was working. So I apologize. It sounds like you may have to log back in. Yeah, so I think there's going to be 2 replays, unfortunately, because we'll have to do the first section and then the second. But I'll try to figure it out. Sorry, everyone. I don't think I've ever had to. Well, maybe once or twice I've had to reconnect like that. Okay. I have no idea how much I said before I was cut off, so it's kind of frustrating. But I did review Vacine's case and gave her feedback, but maybe we'll move on since it's already 40 after to another case or to take some more questions. Oh, thanks, Melissa. Sorry, it's so frustrating when these technology things go wrong. So I'll take a few little spot questions I saw, and then if you don't mind to I had to clear everything. So if you want to reload a question, if you want to raise your hand again, we kind of have to start fresh. And I apologize, and I appreciate your patience. So if you maybe have a case that's a little more simple, you're just like self-diagnosing and self-treating and have some supplements you want me to review, that might be a better case. Or if it's like a hormone case. We talked a little bit about expiration dates, and that, if it's a tincture, those last a long time. If it's been, less than a year, I think that's fine. But just there's sort of some energetics too. If you have something sitting around that didn't have value to you, like, why do you take it now? Are you just taking it now because you bought it? If so, just throw it away. If you're taking it because you really need it for an acute condition or something, I think that's okay. I had a lot of questions about fillers. I don't know all the names of fillers, unfortunately, because I use really good stuff and I have for a long time. So I can just say kind of generally, I don't recommend that people buy things from Walgreens, Trader Joe's, Costco, really. All that stuff isn't well made, and there's going to be fillers where the form of the vitamin won't be absorbable. So many of you know, like B vitamins, many of us can't break down synthetic B vitamins, and we need a methylated B vitamin. Most multivitamins will not have that methylated B vitamin at your store. So for instance, it will say folic acid, and you need a methylfolate. So if you go to Target, that's another store that, they have a few good things, but if you look through their vitamins, you'll maybe find one that has methylfolate. It's just cheaper, and they're not being held to the same standards. So, I'm sure not every filler is like the worst, but generally, I think it's important to buy from brands you've done some research on. Some of the natural food stores will have some good brands. Sometimes they're not as strong, though, because it's being sold over the counter, and there's only so strong that they can make it. But if you're buying like a simple tincture, you want to take some Stragolis or something, and you see a tincture of that at the store, then that's probably fine. Tinctures are pretty clean because there isn't really any filler. Some people don't want the alcohol. You can put the alcohol in a hot water and it'll kind of burn it out. Barbara's like, keep talking, like don't stop before it breaks. So yeah, you can buy tinctures that way. So yeah, I've been using practitioner grade supplements for a long time. And if you were at the beginning of the webinar before we got cut off, I shared this page for our shop, and it has some other free resources about a supplement planner and my supplement, like midlife supplement guide, and my video I made. So I put that in here. Yeah, so practitioner grade things, they're doing their research, like what is the best form. So another example is magnesium. There's so many types of magnesium, and some are more calming and some will help you have a bowel movement. Some will do some of each of those things. So for example, there's one called like Calm. It's like an over-the-counter magnesium powder. And I'm pretty sure, though, it's magnesium citrate. Let me look it up. I just think this might be a good example because some things can be over the counter and look pretty good, but they're still not quite the best for the job. I'm trying to see the back of their label. And the more I learn over time, so this is ionic magnesium citrate. So they're saying created by a highly absorbable proprietary blend of citric acid and magnesium carbonate. Okay. So they're the citrate means they're combining the magnesium with citric acid, which may do something to absorb, but it also kind of passes through you. Magnesium citrates are more used for, constipation. But this product is called Calm, and magnesium is calming, and I think it has that effect to some extent for people. But the magnesium we use, I think, is more calming. It's a magnesium chelate. It's bound with amino acids, so your body will really absorb it and take it in. So that's just one example. Fish oil, I think I talked about on the summit. The quality really varies quite widely. Let's see. Holly's asking vitamins like B12 versus a B12 that is derived from food. This is another tricky question, Holly. So what does that mean, derived from food? Right? Like, what is it? How is it being derived? Sometimes what it means is they culture the vitamin on like a tray of like kind of like yeast or something. So it's kind of like grown. It's kind of like grown, so it's sort of like a food, but it's not really a food. Food is bulky, right? So where are they getting the B12? Is it some vitamins will say, I don't know, like vitamin C from beet powder. Those ones I think are better. The ones that say something like that. The ones that just say food-based B12, that's just like marketing. You can't really tell how is it coming from food? What's the difference? And which one is better is the other question. I think that the people who are marketing that it's food-based are saying, well, it's from food, so it's better. Not necessarily. So in a way, like I was just talking about the magnesium we have, it's paired with amino acid. It sort of makes it look like a food because it has like a little protein on it. And that can help your body absorb it. But I think it's better than some food-based magnesium, even though it's synthetic, so to speak. So sometimes it's like the purity and not really, you have to be careful with all the gimmicky, like, is it food-based? Or a lot of that is just like they take the vitamins and they put them on some kind of culture to be able to call it like a food-based or like a natural, like derived vitamin, but it's not actually true. Yeah, Karen's bringing up a product called Restore. It helps with all issues. Yeah, even that product, Karen, I just interviewed someone about that product, and he's not as much of a fan of it. He uses something else. So there's a million opinions. But if something helps you, that's good. Barbara's asking, which is best, fish oil, krill, wild salmon, or which? Yeah, it depends who you ask. I've never really gotten into krill too much, but it has the antioxidants in it, and so it helps kind of protect it from going bad. But it has a different profile, like DHA versus EPA. I think I could be remembering wrong, but I think it's pretty low in DHA and really high in EPA, and you want to get the DHA. So I usually just use fish oil, and it could come from different kinds of fish. It doesn't have to be salmon. Just a good quality fish oil. So we use Designs for Health, and I talked about on the summit, it's triglyceride structure. It's that structure of the oil that it's supposed to be in, so your body will recognize it better. Also, the company that sponsored the summit, Vital Choice, I know they have a salmon, fish oil supplement, and they test it. I don't know about the triglyceride form of theirs or not. Yeah, Melissa, we use Designs for Health fish oil, and I have it in my supplement guide, I believe. I think it's an important one. Mostly I do mine in a little packet, so I get fish oil in the morning and the night. If you're a vegan or you're sensitive to fish, you can also do an algae-based DHA oil. Okay. Let's see. So if anybody, I'm almost afraid, let me ask a question before I go on. When did the video go bad for me? Was it after Vaseem had been on a while? Did it happen just random? It seemed like it was after. I'm a little nervous to bring someone on, but I don't think that was it. I think it was just the internet connection. But if anyone has any comments. Nicole, yeah, methylcobalamin, yeah, that's the correct form. You don't want cyanocobalamin B12. You want the methylcobalamin. So you're on the right track. And I'm not going to recap the whole thing, but I'll just say briefly, because I did make some good points about Vaseem. If you're taking an overlap of supplements, don't do an overlap. If you're taking 3 different things for leaky gut, all to like fix the mucosa, only take one. If you're taking, 3 different things for your adrenals, only take one. And go to your main complaints. There's a lot of things that could help us, but we don't have the money and the time to be taking everything. So focus on what you need the most. So for Vaseem, it was immune system, right? Just sinuses. I mentioned, probably no one could hear it, but I'm concerned about mold for her in her case. So that's kind of adding another layer to it. Yeah, she was also taking enzymes and bitters at the same time. Basically the same goal. So don't take both. Somebody said top 5 supplements. I kind of covered this in the summit, but I'll say it again. I start with high quality vitamins, minerals, and oils. Those are your basics. Your body is wanting to do what its job is to do. And if you give it its ingredients, that's all it needs. So I take, and it's in the resource I shared with you here, I take like these little packets that have minerals and my B vitamins, and I take one with iron because I am menstruating every month and I tend to be low in iron. I take fish oil every day. I try to take either hemp oil or gamma-linolenic acid from borage oil. I try to take that every day, but I don't always remember. Right now I'm taking the Megaspore with also this other Saccharomyces boulardii. I really like those together to just kind of coat my gut. Because I'm still like detoxing a lot of stuff, and because my gut isn't totally in great shape, and it's still recovering, I often take a clay supplement by itself in the morning or the night. I use some essential oils, maybe not every day, but a lot to just work with like congestion or different symptoms I'm having. What else can I tell you? Other ones, for hormones, I mentioned our FemGuard Plus Balance is really nice. I've gotten a lot of great results from that for balancing my hormones. I there's some that help clear hormones if you're estrogen dominant, like the DIM or I can never remember how to say that, the DLG. Oh, I can't remember that one. So it just depends on your case. I would say start with your symptoms. Like what are you most working on? No, it's not a bentonite clay that I take. It's a blue clay. It's from Oregon. It's called Healthy Clay. I don't think it's a bentonite clay, but it's really wonderful. And you can take it night or morning. Just it has to be on an empty stomach. I think night is a little better because there's so much happening at night. But sometimes I take it in the morning. Sometimes I take both if I'm really feel like I'm detoxing a lot. Nicole is asking if you had to take the bitters or the enzymes, which is better. It's a little bit of a personal preference about which one works better for your body. That's another thing we can add to this conversation. Not everything works the same for everyone. I like to take bitters. I like that better. I don't really like enzymes personally, but some people probably love them. Do you have to take magnesium at night? No. I usually take some in the morning and the night, but if I need like an extra dose for sleeping, I'll take some magnesium chelate powder at night. Karen said, what about probiotics and prebiotics? Yeah, so I'm doing right now the Megaspore that was on the summit and this Saccharomyces boulardii with it that my colleague recommended to take together. I really like that combo. It's prebiotics. Yeah, you can do a prebiotic like an inulin type of thing. Some probiotics come with that. Sometimes if you have SIBO, those will make you gassy. Everybody's different with what fibers they can tolerate. So you could also just eat a variety of, fruits and vegetables to get your prebiotic fibers. Okay, thanks for the feedback. So it sounds like as soon as I brought her on, that's when everything fell apart. So I guess we're not going to bring anyone more on. That's the first time I've ever done that. No, maybe not the first, but it's maybe like the second, and that's a bummer. So I might switch to a different platform. So I apologize. It's a big bummer for me too, and wanted to host all you guys, and we probably lost 75% of the people. So it's a total bummer. Okay. Nicole, you're asking about something for macular degeneration. I don't know what that is. Sorry. Okay. Barbara said best supplements for autoimmune condition. Well, that's a big question, and we don't know which autoimmune condition you have, but I'll spitball that anyways. I'll say vitamin D, super important for everyone with autoimmune. You want your blood marker to be around 80 mgdl, NGDL, I can't remember. You want to keep your vitamin D high, and we have a good vitamin D liquid at our store. I think fish oil is really important because it's an immune regulator, so I think that's a good one. Healing your gut is really important, so I think the Megaspore and the Saccharomyces boulardii we mentioned are really good. What else? Yeah, you've got to work on your gut health, and that could be with a practitioner. What else? Some turmeric could be good because it's anti-inflammatory and kind of regulating. Also, resveratrol, the grapeseed extract, could be good. Yeah, so we're just, a little bit spitballing here. But, yeah, I think there's some basic things, Barbara, like that you could start with. Fish oil, are you taking a good multivitamin with all your minerals? It's important to note magnesium is very big. So a lot of women will tell me, oh, I take a multivitamin. That's great, but read the label. Does it have 400 to 600 milligrams magnesium in it? Probably not. And what form is it in? So I like the magnesium chelate the very best right now. Okay. I clicked on the link, which you can't find any products. Let me take a look for you. I'm going to do a screen share for a second. If you click here, you'll get the midlife guide. Here you'll get the supplement planner. And let's see. Oh, you're right. It's not working right. Okay, I'll go fix it. It might, I don't know if it's because I'm on the webinar, but I'll go check it. It might be acting up because I'm having the webinar live. Just a great day for me. Let me click on these and see what happens. Okay, that one worked. Here's the fillable supplement planner. And you can also put in some habits that you're working on in there. And this is the guide. Whoever wrote that comment, it might work better from the guide. So here's the guide, blah, blah, blah. And then you can go to shop. Maybe I can go through the guide since we don't seem to be able to have people live on the video. Okay. Here we go. This link is working to the shop. Anyway, I'll go fix that. Yeah. And then if you want to search a product, you can do this. So here's some fish oils and some oils that it brought up. I just searched fish oil in the search bar. There's like 320 products in here, so that's why it might be easier to just use the search. And then on the guide, I list out like the, hold on a second. I list out some things like the proper name and the number, like this product number and that kind of a thing. So there's the fish oils. This is a really nice product, GI Revive, that we have a lot of our clients on to soothe your intestinal lining. And here's a digestive enzyme product that they carry that is quite nice. I've used that sometimes. We just talked a little bit about turmeric. Here's a curcumin supplement. That's the active ingredient in turmeric. Here's a vitamin D supplement. And this last one is like a blood sugar supplement. Okay. Let me come off the screen share. Okay, it's 4 o'clock and I might have to just do this all again because today got kind of mixed up. But any more questions? And also I want to share one more resource with you. Just type in if you have any more questions. Thank you, my camera's off. That thing I can fix. Okay. Let me type in the chat here. So we also do what we call a supplement review. If you go to our shop page, it is called a quick health consultation or a supplement consultation. So it's just the second thing on the page. And I didn't offer it at the summit because I didn't know how many people would take take me up on it, and I didn't want to get overwhelmed. But it's a pretty valuable session, and I believe it's priced at $100. So let me see. Just like we had been seeing early on, I mean, cases can be complicated. Even ones that are seemingly simple can be pretty complicated. So it's a supplement consultation, but it's also just a review of your whole case and kind of like, if we're not running labs, like what would be a great way to approach your case? And yeah, it's $100, and you could just buy supplements yourself. If you're just buying some basic things, I think it's fine. But if you want a more customized protocol, as you probably know from like spending thousands of dollars on supplements, you know, it's expensive, and you don't know if you're choosing the right thing. So if you like advice on choosing the right things, I'd be happy to have, let's see, it's June 21st, I think now, and I'll be around the next 3 weeks, and then I'm moving, and so I'll take 2 weeks off, but then I'll be back again. So if you like to get in sooner, that's great, and later is great with me too. This is always up on our shop page. And yeah, I called it a supplement consultation, but I feel like maybe we misnamed it. So it's a little bit more of like a coaching call for if you're not really ready to do our whole program with labs and everything, but you want a little advice and you want to talk to me personally, I'd be happy to have you. And yeah, this call got a little messed up, but I hope I imparted. I'm pretty supplements and I know a lot about them. And if you want to just go ahead and order things, there's 2 discount codes for each of those links, and I'll go fix the links. Thank you for the person who pointed them out. I'll go make sure the links are working. But there's a pretty good discount off your first order, so sometimes it's worth it to make your first order a big order and see what you want to take out of that. Okay, so a couple more questions. I asked about greens powder. I like greens powder. I don't really like drinking raw lettuce and kale. I think it's gross. I like greens powder. Some of them are well made. They're organic and they're like, vacuum, whatever, like freeze dried. So they're good quality, I think. I like Mighty Maca, and I like our Essentia greens that we carry. So I usually use greens powder to make a smoothie. Maybe I'll use a little like cilantro or something I have around, but I don't really like the texture of putting a bunch of green stuff in my smoothie. Wendy had a question about SIBO supplements. Yeah, I'm happy to help. I guess my screen is frozen again. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not, if my screen is frozen, but Wendy, if you have a more specific question about SIBO supplements, if you're wondering how to get rid of SIBO with supplements, that's a complicated question. So again, like Candida that we talked about before the call got cut off, SIBO is a secondary infection. There's usually a stronger infection in your large intestine that needs to be treated. And then there's some other aspects about like making that sphincter tighter. Some things you can react to if you're trying to treat SIBO with, it's like some probiotics will irritate your soul. Megaspore does not irritate your SIBO, however. People have a hard time getting rid of SIBO, but in our program, we have been able to get rid of it. Sounds like my audio is on, but my face is frozen, so I don't know. Maybe because I've been opening up some tabs to show you some things. And if you came late, we still have the summit on its sale price at this link. And let me close a few things here so I can have better internet for you. Wendy's wondering about herbal antibiotics or other biofilm. Yeah, so We use usually this product called Interface Plus to break down the biofilm when we do any kind of parasite bacterial protocol. As far as the SIBO itself, I'm not really sure what we're using for that. We use a product called Biocidin, and then we use like the Megaspore. We might be using the Biocidin. So Anne Moline, who's my colleague, she's more the one who develops those protocols. She develops all the gut protocols. And there is a product in our store called, I think it's called GI Microbix, and it's pretty good. It's pretty strong. I took two of them at once the first time I took it, and I took it with like an oil of oregano, and I got really sick because it was way too strong. So that's a good product to use too. Okay. Any other questions? I apologize for things going wonky. Let's see. All right, ladies, I think we're going to end it here. I would say if you have a case that you didn't get to have covered, it seemed like the technology just was not like letting us bring people on. So I'll have to look into that and maybe get another platform. But I would recommend that you set up a supplement review with me, because it's a lot of fun. And I'll put that link on the shop page, and then we can really dig into your case. You know, I'm not skimpy about, you know, about my consultations. So I'm not just going to be like, oh, here's 5 supplements I think you should take. We're really going to like dig into what supplements are you taking. What can you take away? You know, what are you missing in your diet? Where your habits are not supporting you. So I'd love to have you. So if you'd like to hear my personal opinions, so to speak, on your case and get a custom review, I'd love to do that for you. All right, thanks everyone. I will do my best to piece these recordings together and send them to you. Bye everyone.